So you're at basic training, you're feeling bad, you're feeling terrible, you hurt your leg, you're actually feeling sick. Then you gotta go to this place called Sick Call. What in the world is Sick Call at basic training? So for those of you who don't know what Sick Call is in the military, well, thank you for clicking on this video because I'm going to explain that. And then I'm going to explain the process at basic training of the whole Sick Call process, you know, waking up in the morning, going there, and then what you do when you're there, because basically it's a doctor's office visit, but I'm going to go a little bit more detail about that. So Sick Call is basically just going to the doctor for a checkup. So, you know, on the civilian side, if you're feeling bad, if you're feeling sick, you know, if you hurt your ankle or something whenever you're running, you're gonna go to the doctor and get that checked up on. That is literally what Sick Call is for the military. And when you're at basic training, injuries are gonna happen a lot. People are gonna get sick a lot. You might, you know, get like legitimately sick. You might get pink eye. You might get certain different things that are gonna cause you to need to go to Sick Call. And the whole process about how you're gonna go about that is you're gonna have to let your drill sergeants know, your leadership know in your platoon that, hey, you gotta go to Sick Call in the morning. And what you're gonna do is before PT, you're gonna have to wake up extra early. So you're gonna have to wake up earlier than everybody else. So not a whole lot early, but maybe like 30 minutes or so. So if everybody else is waking up at 4:30, you need to wake up and be ready at 4 o'clock to go to Sick Call, because you gotta be there early before Sick Call opens. And you're gonna go through this process, and probably a drill sergeant is gonna take you there. There might be a couple other people going to Sick Call in the morning. So he's gonna take you guys in like a van or something to go over there, and they're gonna hand you an MRE probably for breakfast. And basically once you get to Sick Call, you're going to sit around and wait for them to actually open it up at like 6 o'clock or something. You're probably gonna be waiting around for an hour. I don't know why, but you're just gonna get there an hour early and you're gonna wait around. Basically, after you eat your MRE, after you go to the doctor's office at Sick Call, basically that's gonna be your entire morning. And once you finish that, probably around, you know, 8 o'clock or so, 8 or 9 o'clock, you're going to, depending on where you're at, somebody may pick you up, or you're just going to march back to wherever your unit is at, wherever your base training company is training, doing PT or whatever. So you're gonna basically jump back in and get back into the normal routine of everybody else. So if you're gonna get a profile, which a profile just basically is a piece of paper from the doctor saying, you know, if you twisted your ankle or something, that you can't do any kind of physical activity or anything for a week or so. So you might have a profile, and once you get back, you're gonna basically give any kind of medications that you got from the doctor. You're gonna get any kind of profiles, and you're gonna give that to your drill sergeant so that they'll know whenever your profile's over and that you actually had medications or anything like, you know, ibuprofen pills or something that you need to take, or anything of the sort. You're gonna have to let them know. And that's basically it, honestly. That is what Sick Call is at basic training. It is basically a doctor's office, a doctor's visit in the morning that you go to get any kind of prescriptions or profiles that you need for your training or whatever. I had a person ask me that question of what Sick Call is, and so they wanted me to make a video on it. Here's the video. But the real reason I'm making this video is not only just to describe real quickly what Sick Call is, but to tell you guys kind of what's gonna happen if you go to Sick Call and what it's kind of like at basic training when you actually decide to go to Sick Call, because it's not a really good thing to do all the time. It is kind of frowned upon to go to Sick Call, and a lot of people try not to go to Sick Call because you kind of get looked at in a different way. Because some people will literally go to Sick Call all the time so that they'll miss PT in the morning. They'll go to Sick Call on a weekly basis, you know, oh, my ankle hurts, my knee hurts, whatever hurts, or, you know, I feel really bad, you know, I got a stuffy nose. Whatever the case may be, there will be people that will go to basic training on a regular basis, and I want to urge you guys to not be that person. Don't be that person, because there'll be people who are struggling on the run. They're really bad at running, and they're gonna find out that the next day is obviously on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is running days, but they may find out that, you know, tomorrow is Wednesday and we're gonna do a 3 or a 4 mile run or an extra long run. And then all of a sudden, when days like that happens, you will notice that there's gonna be a higher number of people who will go to Sick Call that morning to miss the run. And I wanna urge you guys not to do that. Only go to Sick Call if you really need to go to sit call. The only time I went to sit call was whenever I got a ringworm on the side of my head, and that was from one day when we were low crawling in the mud and the dirt and stuff, and I was burying my head down the ground. And one of the ways that you can get ringworm is from basically being in the dirt and stuff like that. So that is how I got that. I went to sit call for that. They gave me some stuff to put on it and it was healed. But that is something that was like a legitimate reason that I needed to go to sit call just for that day. Throughout my basic training experience, I did have certain pains, like my knees would hurt, my back or hips would hurt, and I don't suggest, I really don't suggest, like if you're hurting like super bad, then go to sit call. Please go to sit call, like if you're legitimately hurting, because you don't want to further injure yourself. But if you're hurting just a little bit, kind of like I was, like most other people will be, you're going to be hurting in some kind of pains somewhere, try not to go to sit call. And if you're hurting in your hips, if you're hurting in certain areas, like you say your back is hurting real bad, a big thing is your hips. Honestly, a really big thing is your hips. And if you complain about your hips, like you could be running the risk of being sent home. So that is like a really big concern that happens to people. I remember my final FTX at basic training, there was this one guy that was in my platoon, and he had talked to me about going to sit call because he said his hips were hurting because we had just got done doing a ruck march. And I told him, I was like don't go to sit call. Don't tell them that your hips are hurting. Just don't do it, because it, like he even said, like it's not that bad. Like he's like, it's not that bad. I can deal with it. I'll be fine. But I want to get it checked out. And I'm like, well, if you're fine, if you can deal with it, don't go to sit call. Well, anyways, long story short, he went to sit call one morning, and then we found out a few hours later that he was being sent home. He had like a small little hairline fracture, which you hear all the time. Apparently, anytime you go to the sit call, they say you have like a hairline fracture. But he had this small issue, and he even talked to me even later after that. He was like, dude, like it really wasn't that bad. I shouldn't have gone to sit call. And I just want to stress to you guys, like unless you're feeling really bad, don't go to sit call. And then I also want to let you guys know, don't be that guy that goes to sit call on a regular basis, because that is going to look bad on you. People are like, it just doesn't look good to be that guy that goes to sit call every single time that you're gonna have a hard day of PT, or you don't want to do something in the morning, or you just want to go to escape from the regular basic training lifestyle where there's not going to be any drill sergeants around you. You're just going to be basically sitting in a doctor's office. There might be a TV there, so you'll get to watch TV for a few minutes or so. Don't be that guy that tries to do that. Only go to sit call if you actually feel like you really need to go. Don't go for any other reason, because number one, it looks bad, and number two, if you're complaining about certain issues, it could cause you to get sent home, or it could cause you to get recycled. Because let's say you complain about your ankle, and it's really not that bad. Let's just say you complain about any body part, and then it causes you to go on profile. Well, the profiles will keep you out of certain training exercises. So if your profile is 2 weeks long and you can't do stuff for 2 weeks, or you can't do any heavy physical activity for 2 weeks, you're going to be missing training events. And if you miss enough training events, then you're going to get recycled back to another company. You're gonna have to repeat some of basic training over again. So keep that in mind whenever you decide to go to sit call for something, because you could be running the risk of getting on a profile that will cause you to miss training, that will cause you to get recycled, and you'll have to do some of basic training over again. You might not have to do all of basic training over again, just depending on when you do go to sit call, but you might have to repeat some of basic training, another phase with another company. And I don't recommend doing that, but that's really the main message I wanted to get across with this video, after obviously explaining what sit call is in the first place. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something. I hope it helps somebody out later on in the future not go down this path of the sit call tumbling wheel or whatever. Hope I helped you guys out with that. But if it did help you, hit that like button. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you want to stick around some more of my videos, hitting that subscribe button would be awesome. If you have any questions, concerns, or whatever, you can leave your comments down below in the comment section. If you really want to ask me something, hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat. Links are also in the description. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys later.